Chapter 1 The Spin Recovery. You are listening at famvetv.info. 032, Skydive, 032, Skydive immediately. The base commander /S voice kept coming from the earphones. Maybe the sound in the earphones was too loud, or maybe the vibration of the plane played a role. In short, Lei Tian, who had just been pulled by the 9G overload and almost fainted, became clear again in front of his eyes. However, the instrument panel in front of him is different from the fighter plane he just piloted. Originally, Lei Tian was an old industrial base in China, a test pilot of the Shenyang Aircraft Industry Group, the eldest son of the Republic, and the J.11 fighters newly manufactured by the company needed to be tested before they could be delivered to the troops. Today, when he was flying, he skillfully made various maneuvers to test the performance of the aircraft. However, when he was pulling a somersault, there was an accident, and the body /S anti-G suit was not pressurized as usual. As a result, relying on flesh and blood, Lei Tian, who can resist 5G overload at most, fainted. Ordinary pilots can resist up to 4G overloads, and those who can resist 5Gs are test pilots. As for those who can resist 6Gs, they can select astronauts, but fighter jets can pull out. 8 or 9 overloads come from, and the rest of the overloads are all offset by the anti-G suit pressure. Lei Tian remembered what happened just now, but now, everything seems to have changed in front of him. The J.11 is a domestic model transformed by Shenfei on the basis of digesting and absorbing the Su.27. The display equipment inside has long been replaced by a liquid crystal display, which can display a variety of information. And now, the instrument panel in front of you is all instruments, only a circular cathode ray tube display, which seems to be a radar screen. The instrument panel is blue, with a cool feeling unique to metal, and all the markings on it are a special kind of letters. Seems to be Russian. Only when the Su.27 was first introduced was it in Russian. The body was still tightly pressed against the seat by the overload, and Lei Tian felt the constant pressure on his legs to press his legs tightly, pressing back the blood in his lower part to prevent black vision. Is the anti-G suit working normally again? No. This is the high-altitude anti-G suit. Lei Tian felt the narrowness of his field of vision. He was not looking at the usual helmet goggles, nor did he have an oxygen mask. His entire head was in a closed helmet, and he could only see the outside through the front lens. Outside the cockpit, the field of vision is also quite narrow. The front windshield is 3-piece, without any rearward vision. This is an authentic second-generation aircraft. Andre, go skydiving. A roaring voice came from the earphones again. The height is still 500 meters. Go skydiving. Andre. Are you Andre? In an instant, countless memories flooded into Lei Tian /S mind. Andrei Vladimirovich Tolstoy, born in Kiev, his father was an engineer in a power station and his mother was a housewife. Andrei loved flying since he was a child, and then signed up for the Soviet Air Force, was selected all the way, and now he is a MiG.25 pilot. The MiG.25, the legendary fighter, is now proud to fly the MiG.25, the most advanced Soviet fighter in the Soviet Air Force and Defense Air Force. Damn it /S only 76 years. Yes, 1976. I have passed through. There are still 200 meters. If you don /T go skydiving, you will just wait to fall into caviar in the Caspian Sea. The voice on the radio became even more anxious. Skydiving. Lei Tian, no. Andre woke up suddenly. His plane was entering a terrible stall spin. The MiG.25, a high-altitude and high-speed fighter, has a particularly tall vertical tail in order to have good performance at high altitudes with thin air. Generally speaking, it is not easy to enter a stall spin, but it also means that once it enters a stall tail spin, it /S not easy to fix it. This time, Andre and the leader were in a 2-plane formation to conduct flight training in the airspace south of the base. At an altitude of 10,000 meters, Andre was pulling too much when he made a vertical climb and then dived down. As a result, it fell in order to ensure the aerodynamic efficiency of the rudder surface under the thin air at high altitudes. The vertical tail of the MiG.25 is extraordinarily tall. However, at low altitudes, there will be the problem of excessive aerodynamic torque, which may even lead to flight accidents. If there is a telex operating system, it can be achieved by setting the same amount of poles in the computer, but unfortunately it is still a delusion in this era. The fuselage was spinning and falling vertically. Due to the lag of the anti-G suit, Andre's eyes were instantly darkened, and then he slowly woke up, and he had already passed through skydiving. The Earth was approaching rapidly, and the altimeter on the dashboard in front of him was turning rapidly. Andre knew that at this time, he absolutely could not parachute. Damn, the best chance to skydive has been missed. This is an old-fashioned Soviet aircraft, not the Su-27 of later generations. It uses the star-like K.36 ejection seat. The MiG.25 is still installed in the KM.21 on the MiG.21 that has been used for more than 10 years. One ejection seat, the ejection envelope is limited, and now the height is too low. If you eject it, you have to fall into a paddy, change it out. Andre is a veteran pilot. In another world, he has flown more than 20 times of stall and spin recovery, and now in this world, although it is the first time for him. Encountered, but when I was learning, I already knew how to recover from the spin of the MiG.25. Reaching out his hand, Andre quickly pushed the steering stick, shoved it in the opposite direction of the spin, followed by the rudder, and also moved in the opposite direction of the spin. No, it not enough, the height is too low. Put down the landing gear, put down the parachute. Andre freed up his left hand and quickly flipped a few switches. The Soviet Union ergonomics were very poor. To put these things, he actually had to flip 5 switches. Andre couldn't complain anymore. When he opened it quickly, a white snowflake vacated the tail. Only when the aircraft is in a test flight will it be equipped with a spinner. Even if the pilot cannot correct it, as long as the spinner is released, the spinner can help the aircraft return to normal. Now, this MiG.25 can only be used temporarily. The deceleration parachute acts as a spin parachute. At the same time, lowering the landing gear is also to increase the resistance. The Earth is rapidly approaching, and the altimeter is rapidly turning. After these actions are completed, the next thing Andre can do is to meditate in his heart. God bless him. Almost when it was about to touch the ground, the fighter plane leveled. Huge steel fighter, a tamed beast. Sokolovka, 032 has been leveled. Andre said on the radio, please continue training. 031, 032, return immediately. The voice of the base came from the earphones. There was a near-flight accident just now, and the base terminated the plan to continue training. After returning, we still need to conduct accident analysis. UU Reading welcomes all book lovers to come and read. The latest, fastest and most popular serial works are all in UU Reading. Mobile users, please read. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.